Well, members of Congress say they're investigating the recent deaths and disappearances of soldiers on Fort Hood. That includes Specialist Vanessa Guillen, who was murdered back in April. Tonight, ABC will air a 2-hour-long 2020 special about her death and the investigation. ABC News anchor John Quinones is joining us now to talk more about this special. Good morning to you, John. Thanks for joining us.
Hey. Thank you. Good morning. This is a really tragic, incredibly tragic story of unimaginable loss. Because what makes it worse is that it seems to be happening again and again and again at a U.S. military base, not far from where you are right now, here in Texas. It's a 28, soldiers have died or disappeared from Fort Hood in the last year. In the last 4 years, more soldiers have died from Fort Hood, have died in homicides than in combat. But it's also a story of one family's persistence, the Vanessa Guillen's family, their dogged and heart-wrenching determination to get answers. We go all the way to the Pentagon to try to get answers there. You'll see it tonight.
Yeah, what really stood out to you about her particular case?
Well, there's so many things, but again, it's not just her. It's not just Vanessa. It's even the Secretary of the Army told me that that base has the highest rates for murder, for sexual assault, sexual harassment. The numbers are really high, he said. And to quote him, he said they're bad and we need to make some adjustments there because we're so very concerned. But what also struck me about that particular family is that Vanessa's mother, Gloria, who was so passionate, and Vanessa's sisters, Lupe and Myra, who just kept, pushing and pushing and pushing for answers. We don't have all the answers yet. There's many still unanswered. There's at least one suspect now jailed in connection with the case, as you know, Cecily Aguilar. She was allegedly Specialist Robinson's girlfriend, the man who, it seems, killed Vanessa. She has not been charged with murder, but with helping dispose of Vanessa's body. She has pleaded not guilty and is not convicted, but she is stand trial at some point, and maybe she will shed light on this story.
Yeah. One of the things we heard from Vanessa's family was that she was, sexually harassed, but was too afraid to report it. And yet you have said that, the Secretary of the Army told you that some of the worst rates are at Fort Hood. That's just the people who are reporting. So how badly do you think there needs to be a cultural shift there?
It's very badly. I mean, the fact is, and, so many people don't report them. You're right. So that's why we interviewed everyone from the Secretary of the Army to the Undersecretary to the Major General who's with the Army's Criminal Investigation Division. They're all saying that we've got to crack down on this. We have to find answers. We have to hold people accountable. They will be much more careful now, for example, to declare, before they declare someone AWOL, absent without leave, or as a deserter, to take a closer look, because one of the cases that they're looking at is the case of Gregory Morales, who initially was thought to have gone AWOL, and because searchers were looking for Vanessa Guillen's body or remains, they happened to stumble upon his, and it turns out that Gregory Morales had been murdered. There's so many changes that need to be done, and that's why Congress, just this week is launching its own investigation. There's a separate independent review by civilians of a command climate at Fort Hood. They're looking into whether the recent tragedies may be symptomatic of an underlying leadership and discipline and morale problems at the base throughout the chain of command.
All right. Well, John, we thank you so much for taking time to chat with us today. We certainly are looking forward to this special tonight.
Thank you.